All right, so here we are today with John and Gerard and Patrick and Bruce Firestone. So I just introduced myself. I'm the development manager for Dr. Olender's new vet clinic. I'm a real estate broker. I'm a civil engineer, and I do quite a bit of development management work. I don't know why, I just like doing it. So I've done about 1,500 projects, in the 40 years I've been doing it. So quite a few over the years. And I really enjoy working on the smaller projects with entrepreneurs like Dr. Olender. And I have to tell you, Gerard and John, the two Patricks already know this. When Dr. Olender, bought this site and decided to add a clinic to it, he didn't realize exactly what was involved in getting site plan approval, and he understands it very well now. It's quite the process. So we're about a third of the way through the process. Hi, Robert.
Hey, how are you?
Oh, good to see you. Oh, there's Dr. O in the background. So just in case you guys couldn't join us, we are recording this, okay, Dr. Olender?
Okay.
So yeah. You'll have a record of it afterwards, all right? So it is being recorded, so don't say anything rude. All right. So I'm just giving Gerard and John a little background. So Dr. Olender bought this site. It's just under 2 acres. It's at the corner of 2 major roads, March Road and Dunrobin Road. And what's interesting about this site is it's almost dead center between the 2 clinics that he currently operates. So Dr. Olender with his son, Robert Olender, who's also a doctor and a vet, they have a clinic in Kanata and another one in Dunrobin, and this site's kind of in the middle. And these 2 clinics that they're currently operating are rentals. Okay, you guys with me so far?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. And the idea is to build a 5,000 square foot clinic that is 100% owner occupied. There's no there's no third party tenants here. So build a 5,000 square foot single story clinic dedicated to the veterinary clinic. And what's interesting about this, as you've already noted from the site plan that you've seen, is that when we helped Dr. Olender and Robert buy the site initially a few years ago now, there was already an existing house on it. And then that house unfortunately burned down after we put some tenants in it, by the way.
Oh,
and yeah, and then what happened next was Dr. Olender and his son Robert decided to rebuild the house with the insurance proceeds, and it has been rebuilt. But somehow, again, when it got rebuilt, the house grew a little bit. It put on weight. We tend to do that as we get older, and so it's got, I think, a 3-car garage, and it's somewhat, well, it's obviously newer, but it's also bigger than the other house. So the good news here is that the zoning permits both a residential use and a commercial use, specifically an animal hospital. So the zoning allows what we're planning to do on the site. And I don't have to tell you guys, even before the pandemic struck, the idea of living and working on the same site was very attractive to a lot of people. I mean, you must have seen it in your careers. And it's not unusual to want to have a live-work situation. So now Robert, Dr. Olender's son, will live here, and he'll work, maybe 30 or 40 footsteps away. So that is the original idea behind this. I'm just going to share my screen with you guys for a moment. And I'll just show you, here's the CAD plan. I think you have, John and Gerard, you have the CAD plan of this?
correct.
And
Yes.
so this is the CAD file. Yeah, we have done a survey. So the survey is complete now. We have some topos to go with it. This is the busiest of the roads. So if you can see my cursor moving back and forth here, that's March Road. Probably has 17 or 18,000 vehicles a day on it. This is Dunrobin Road, probably has 12,000 vehicles a day on it, something like that anyway. And then this is a residential, mostly residential street, which is Campbell Reed Court. So the municipal address is 4 Campbell Reed Court, but in actual fact, most people would think of it as the corner of Dunrobin Road and March Road. The other good news that we have is our traffic engineer, David Halpenny, has talked to the city and has done a traffic solution which will give this full turning motion. So not just right in, right out, but full turning motion here. All right, so this will be the access. And originally we thought we might be able to bring some vehicles in from the residential street to the clinic, but that turned out to not be practical, especially after the house got rebuilt and grew a little bit, right? You can see how much bigger it is than the original footprint. So what we have is we have a traffic solution that allows full turning circle here. It'll come in here. This was an old farm gate entrance, and that's what we're going to rebuild that, but that's where it's going to be. This portion of the driveway will be paved, but Dr. Olender, and I agree with him, wants this part of the driveway and this parking lot to be basically a gravel parking lot, because it's still a rural area and this is a rural practice, and it gives that sort of impression. So I think that's a good thing. And then the two Patricks who are doing the architecture have laid out this particular footprint, which can be changed. As you guys know, Gerard and John, you know that the footprint, you know, could be squeezed one way or the other. But I do like a lot of things that I see from the two Patricks, including the fact that the building is very square. Generally speaking, as you know, to build something that's very square like this, you've reduced the perimeter walls, you've maximized or optimized your area, so it's a little bit more efficient to build. And the only concern that I have, which I've already expressed to you guys and to the two Patricks, was I didn't really like the entrance here. I wanted to get as close as possible to the parking area, because Ottawa is a very cold city, and I wanted to reduce to the absolute minimum the number of steps. And then I think it was either you, Gerard, or John mentioned that sometimes people are also carrying sick animals, and so reducing the trek to the front door might be important. Then the next thing that happened was that Dr. Olender himself put this document together, which I call, and I think the two Patricks call it, a bubble diagram. And that is, this was Dr. Olender's idea of what the inside might look like, and he sketched it out. And I think, Gerard, you and John have both seen this as well.
Yeah.
Okay. And so these were the sketches and the ideas that Dr. Olender put down, and they're based on his existing veterinary clinic and what's going on inside the clinic. And then I think either you, Gerard, or John wrote back to me that you might have some different ideas. And I have to tell you, from my point of view, I really welcome the addition of specialists in this. And I think in an email, I'll stop sharing my screen now for a moment. And I'm almost finished my introduction, boys. I really welcome this because, you know, I've worked with a number of dentists over the years, and they use very specialized firms who bring their design, their interior design, to a whole other level. And one in particular I did fairly recently for Dr. Jillian Espy. The branding, the efficiency, the new ideas and thoughts have just caused her, just as for you, Dr. Olender, has caused her practice to explode in size and profitability. So I really salute you, Dr. Olender, for bringing in Gerard and John.
Thank you.
We especially salute you.
Thank you. All right, Gerard, well, and John, I'd like to hear from you now.
Yeah, so I don't know if you can let me share my screen, or if I can already do that.
No, I'll make you the co-host. Hang on. Okay, you're now the co-host.
Okay, so what we did is, you guys can see my screen.
Yep.
What we did is we took five kind of previous projects that we've done that are either similar square footage that you guys are thinking, or similar requests. So I'll kind of just go through them, and they go from kind of largest to smallest, and they'll kind of explain how we kind of picture the flow being. So this is the biggest one, 5,600 square feet, but it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 exam rooms. And this is typically how we want to sort of arrange the clinic. So, you know, you have your front reception area at the front of the building, obviously. I mean, the entrance, Bruce, it could be kind of a vestibule, how you guys have kind of sketched out temporarily for now, but obviously the entrance can be on the side as well. And what we do, or what a lot of our clients ask, is to line the exam rooms between the reception and sort of towards the back of the hospital. So unlike, I guess, the bubble sketch where the exam rooms are kind of in the reception over here, what we suggest is essentially this strip becomes where we lay out our exam rooms. So this is sort of what we do in most of our projects. You'll see kind of regardless of the size, and in the majority of cases. So the benefit of this is kind of, there's a few benefits. The first one is the doctors, the vets have access to the exam rooms from the back of the hospital. So what this means is they don't have to go into reception, kind of potentially be intercepted by clients for chit chat. They can kind of go directly in. Clients come in from the reception side. You know, vet takes the animal, goes back towards the hospital. So that's kind of the first major thing that most of our vets ask for. Secondly, from a mechanical point of view, we start kind of constructing this strategically to sort of create separate mechanical zones, which both for things like temperature control, but also to help control sound throughout the clinic. And then we kind of find our way going back to the back of the hospital where there's, you know.
John?
Yeah.
I just, if you don't mind, I'll just ask you a quick
Jump
question.
in at any point, otherwise I'll ramble.
Okay. No, you're doing an excellent job. I'd like to hear from Dr. Olender and Robert, but I really, just personally, I really like the idea of these double-loaded exam rooms, so that, as you said, the doctor, the vet can come in, meet with the client, leave, and the client leaves through the other door. I think that's brilliant. But Dr. Olender and Robert, what do you think?
Well, I exactly understand every single word and the idea what John is describing, and I like it. This really is what the design is should be. But you see, I gave you a concept, and it's just basically to arrange it in order for the flow to be there, and it's very good. It's right there. I see it. I see it right there. Yeah, and it's 5,000 square feet.
This one, I'm gonna go from biggest to smallest. This one is 5,600, almost 700 square feet. But what you'll see is kind of as I go to the smaller one, perhaps 5,000 square feet is more than you need.
So John, that exam room at the north end of your document, at the top end, is not double loaded. Why is that?
This one?
Yeah.
It might be missing a door in this plan. We kind of took some and tried to put them together.
So where your hang on a second, John.
Hold on for a second. Okay, let me explain. Okay, that particular exam room is located toward the side entrance. This is an exam/comfort room. So the euthanasias are happening right there. So the client can leave the comfort room through the side door directly to the parking lot. So one of the exam rooms, usually what we do is we make it a euthanasia comfort room. And usually we would like to have a separate access to the outside from this particular room. And also that room is connected directly toward the back of the hospital, toward the freezer.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. That has to be there. We have a similar room here.
Yeah, I think that's a good explanation, John. Maybe you update your brain on that one. Question for you, Gerard, on in the comfort room.
Yes.
Would you ever consider flipping where the door is, and I guess the sink is, you know, so that you could end up with another door, which is, if you don't mind moving your cursor, John, back and forth, there could be another door. Move your cursor up just a little bit, so down a little bit, down there. So go left and right there, horizontal. No, go the other way, into the corner. So you could actually have your comfort room, your WC, and your entrance really almost totally separated.
Yeah,
You know,
that is,
so
that
I'm
is,
just saying that
yeah.
you could, the comfort room, if you, do you understand what I'm saying, John? If you move that door, you know, flip the door and the sink there, and you had another door there,
particular situation.
there you
Put
go.
the door in here.
Thank you. And you had another
Yeah.
door across there. Then Dr. Olender and Robert, you would have a comfort room, a WC, and a vestibule where if people are crying, you know, I've had some dog owners who are good friends of mine who've lost their pets, and men as well as women, not just the women, but the men are crying too. It might be a good idea to have that just a bit more separated.
Okay, let me explain this to the end. Quite often the clients, they have different ideas. In most cases, what we do is we do a direct exit to the outside. So if we propose a comfort room in this kind of scenario, the entrance will be where the window is to the outside, and we would rearrange it. But again, sometimes we have to listen. Well, not sometimes. We have to listen to our clients. Let's put it this way. So
But
if the client wants to have it
like
this way,
yeah, I really like what you've done though with this design. I mean, I'm not. You could change this design. Look, I'm just a development manager here. The bosses are on the call with us here, but this really makes sense to me what you've done here, and I'm sure we can tweak it. But I think the vestibule idea is a very good idea.
Yeah, and I'll add, typically, because you know we're trying to maximize every square footage.
Yeah.
Even in an exam comfort room, we would treat this almost essentially as it's another exam room. You know,
Yeah.
I would suggest putting a door here.
Yeah, it makes
So
sense.
if you're not having a euthanasia, you know, you treat it as a normal exam room, but with the option of someone, you know, post euthanasia being able to leave through a side door. And sometimes it's, you know, through a vestibule. Sometimes, depending on the space, we would have a door right off of the exam room, and they can just hop out the side. So we'll kind of, when we get into the design, then, you know, we'll kind of see which way we want to go. But,
I think, guys, we are going on a tangent here. It's
Yeah.
it's too early because we're gonna look through 2 or 3 or 5 various scenarios, and we're gonna adopt probably something that will suit my and Robert's idea.
Yeah, it's gonna be a mix of a bunch of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the thing is, this is it. It's just a matter of now fitting with the interesting comment John made, that the hospital may be too big for what we want. Well, that's interesting. That's
So let me show, like, I'll just run through it a bit quicker. We won't get into this. Yeah, it's like I said, we don't need to go on tangents with spaces right now because we're not designing, we're just going through it. So you've got your isolation, you've got your kind of break room, staff room here. There's a staff entrance here. We've got lots of dog runs in the dog ward. We have obviously a cat ward. You kind of have all the spaces you need. You have a big spacious lab, surgery, separate dental suite, obviously your x-ray, kind of doctor's office type of thing. And this is a prep pack area, scrub area, depending on kind of what you want.
And Dr. Olender, you notice also they have a office manager office, which I think is great, really close to reception.
Yeah, so I think that was also on the wish list.
yeah.
So let me just kind of jump. So this is, for example, 5,000 square feet. So this is exactly, let's say, what you guys are asking for, or at least imagining in terms of reception. So we've still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 exam rooms. We think at 5,000 square feet, if that's what you want to go for, we would go for at least 5 exam rooms. I mean, this is sort of the business. You know, this is how you guys are making money, seeing as many clients as possible, obviously, you know, giving them time, but 5 exam rooms, one of them, again, doubling as a comfort room. There could be a separate entrance exit here. You know, you still got your 3 tables and treatment. It's still the similar idea of creating the you know, back access into exam rooms. 3 doctor's stations in the doctor's office. These guys had a big garbage room, so this could double up as some other space for you guys if you needed. We have a scrub area here, so we're saving space. The scrub area serves both surgery and dentistry. we'll do kind of in our millwork pass-through cabinets, so you don't have to, so you can have sterilized objects going in and out of these spaces without having to leave the room. A separate private office. This could be a manager's office, or this could be the doctor's office. This could be manager. Obviously, that's something we would play with. This is a pretty nice, spacious staff room. Again, you'll have your dog runs, isolation, storage, dog ward, cat ward, like everything you need. I'll jump into something a bit smaller. So now we're at 4,700 square feet, almost 48. We still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 exam rooms. This is what I was referring to earlier. An exam room that doubles as a comfort room, direct access to outside.
Wow.
Manager's office right off of reception, close to the action. These guys as well have, obviously X-ray. They've got a double table surgery suite. They've got a separate dentistry suite. They've got a prep area for animals going into surgery or dentistry, lab, ICU, all the same stuff.
Yeah. So, gentlemen, you see the prevailing pattern in all of these. It's just a matter. See, all the components are there, and now, I guess at the end of the day, it's what we like. I'm used to a certain logic, and I see here where we very, very quickly come up with the design here.
Yeah. So what we'll do is eventually we'll review the wish list with you guys. Based on that wish list, we will prepare usually 3 or 4 quick layouts right away that show different directions we can take, and then you'll tell us, yep, this is how I want the reception. This makes sense. But I really like how you did the treatment area in layout 2. But I prefer the staff room in layout 4, and then we kind of start combining and massaging those layouts.
John, if I may?
Yeah.
If you want to go back to the site plan that we provided you,
yep.
I guess one of the thing is the fundamentals of how that building works on site. Like I suggested, that box can morph into whatever you want. You can squeeze it, you can stretch it. But I think that there's 2 things here that we need to really consider. There's the fact that Bruce is saying, yes, it's brutal, we have brutal winters, and yes, we should have the entrance close to the parking. And basically, where the building sits right now is the appropriate place, and where the parking sits right now is the appropriate place. So yes, the entrance should be closer to the parking area.
Yeah.
But one thing that we should not dismiss is the opportunity to have the reception opened up to the intersection. So in all of the options that you have, you show a lot of rooms in the back corner where that corner needs to be. I think that you need to really consider having the reception opened up. So when you're outside looking in, you can see the reception area. When you're in the reception area, you can see outside the intersection. And then all the rooms can function from there on.
Patrick, Patrick,
if you
Patrick,
Yeah.
why do you say that? I'm not clear on. I hear what you're saying. Just I'm not clear on what the why is.
Well, the thing is, you don't want to start stuffing washrooms in the bottom left corner of that drawing, in the footprint. You want the opportunity of having that reception to be opened up. You should have glazing and look and be able to look outside, and when you're driving, you want to be able to look inside and try to minimize the rooms, the internal rooms in that corner. Like if you go back to the 1 and 45 degrees, like, I don't mind that access in the corner, which I think is, it would respond to what it wants to be. But then you got all of the rooms cluttered in that bottom left corner. And
Let me
very good
interrupt. Okay, let me interrupt it here. Okay, those drawings that we're showing right now, they have nothing to do with that particular site.
no,
They
I
are only
understand that.
an
I fully understand that.
Let me finish. It's only an illustration what could be fitted into a 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 square feet.
Understand.
Now, again, kind of comments that the garbage room shouldn't be at the front because the front, the left bottom corner is completely not relevant because definitely this is not the point where you access your garbage. So definitely this garbage room is not going to be there, it will be somewhere else where the truck can pick up the garbage. So
No, I
remember.
understand that. I just wanted to emphasize the fact that we should have a lot of open space at the front. That's all.
Yeah, that is, Patrick, that is very good comment, because really this is the first comment that starts to place certain rooms on our box. So, and I like that comment. Yes, of course, where's the parking lot, right? That will have a lot to do. We know that this, what we call south side, which is the entire right side of the building, there's a forest behind it, right? And that is, nobody sees that. So that will lend the opportunity to putting whatever, you know, in the what Patrick was saying, we'll put less important. My question before you go on, Bruce, is this square on this, is this to scale? Is this 5,000 square feet?
It's very close to. Yeah, there's an element with that atrium I try to represent, just to indicate what it wants to be, an open space at the reception.
Yeah, but that square is what we can.
Yeah, you can
maybe
morph
it's
it.
smaller.
It's a low. It's like plastering right now.
So this is to scale, yeah, because that's quite a big building.
What's a big building? John, can you stop sharing your screen for a moment? I'm going to just show you something else.
Okay.
So something else I think is important to share with everybody here today is this is City View Animal Hospital. This is one of the clinics here in Ottawa that Dr. Olender and Robert Olender picked out as something that they really like. And to your point, Patrick, about you know, making sure that it draws the eye and that it self-explains. You know, one of the things that John and you and Gerard are going to have to take into account is that the window treatment is really important. Some of your drawings had windows that are, you know, this size, and some of them have windows that are this size. And I just wanted to show you what you know, Dr. Olender and Robert Olender are trying to achieve here. All right, they're trying to achieve this kind of a look and feel. And then
let me interrupt you for a second. We did design and build this one.
Is that right? Well, there you go, Dr. Olender. You've got good taste. But to your point, Patrick,
that is well done. That is really
well done. And to your point, Patrick, this atrium, you know, draws the eye, and that is the challenge on this thing. The other thing that I wanted to say is this, and I'll just share the other screen. Hang on a second, just so we're on the same wavelength here. The other thing I wanted to say to Dr. Olender's point is that our tree conservation guy, you could see the CAD drawing, right, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. So our tree conservation guy, Bernie Muncaster, has said that he is going to provide sight lines to March Road and to Dunrobin Road so that your building, Patrick, will be highly visible from either road. I mean, that's really important because this is a building we hope will be there for 50 to 100 years, so we want it to be highly visible.
Yep.
Okay, John, you can go back to share.
Let me jump back.
Yeah, if I
John,
could
maybe you can share the maybe you can share the space plan of the City View Animal Hospital.
I don't have it readily available, but let me just go.
Okay.
Keep going with what I have, just so we can get through it. So
A
this is
question,
not-
a question, John and Gerard.
Yes.
Who came up with the idea of the exterior of the building with the city view?
Well, the City View, what we did, we showed them the pictures on the walls that we did for Sherburne Animal Hospital in downtown Toronto. So that those windows, this print that was laminated to the window, I think that the original idea was Dr. Edison Barrientos from Toronto. And
Okay.
the second person second hospital where we did it, it was also a Head-on Forest Animal Hospital that was long time ago in Burlington. They also have the screenshots on the windows. They look really nice.
This was before my time, but Gerard, this was a building that was already built, and we did the interior design and construction, or we didn't do the shell, did we?
No, we didn't do the shell. We just did the concept for them. What we did.
Talking about the shells,
advised-
Gerard. I'm talking about
Yes.
I'm talking about the idea of the building, because I really that's the message I like to point to is the only thing that I'm struggling with, and I was kind of asking John, and I still have to talk with two Patricks about it. Is I still not sure how the building is going to look outside. I'm leaning towards the city view. That's my idea. Robert is going totally opposite direction.
Listen, you guys are responsible for that Callback Animal Hospital, right? In Whitby?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
If you can take that hospital and just duplicate it and just put it there, I'd be very happy. Everything, I saw the photos,
Oh.
everything in that place is perfect.
No, Robert.
We'll be taking bribes under the table from you two guys. So
Yeah.
No, what will
nice
happen
design.
is that,
It's like rural. You have the nice troughs. You have the high ceilings. Because remember, we're in Dunrobin here. This has to be not a hyper modern. This has to have a little bit of a Dunrobin feel.
You see,
Yes,
he's the young guy that he doesn't look into the future. We are going to be downtown within next 25 years. Okay.
Hang on, Patrick, before you do that. So, John,
Yes.
can you boot up a browser and show us because I don't have a picture of it here, but I'd like to see what Robert is talking about. Can you boot up a browser? Let's look at the callback facility in Whitby.
Is that the exact plan for it?
I think this is it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Right,
I
Gerard?
recognize that fishbowl, and that is one of the main things I like. That office inside the treatment area.
Can you guys see my
Yeah, but
browser? Do I have
this
to-
Sorry,
is a
Robert,
colonial building.
what do you like? Tell me again, Robert, what you like about this plan?
Well, the exterior, exterior matches my house really well, actually.
No,
And a lot of stone, a lot of nice siding.
let's kibosh it right away. It will never be built. Okay.
Let's have a look at it. Just try it.
No.
We should have a look at it. Come on, John, show us.
That is just too retro.
What are you go find the picture?
We're gonna have to look at the picture. Hang on a second. We're gonna get John to find it for us on Google Maps.
Here on our website.
I see what you mean.
Yes, beautiful, classy.
It's colonial. Come on, we're out of this age already.
I know, but
Andrzej, help.
get
Andrzej, help.
something similar with a bit more rural feel. And I mean, I see the columns there. It probably doesn't fit, but
Okay,
The
listen.
siding is nice.
Let me,
We're going on a
listen, let
tangent.
me-
Inside is beautiful, no doubt.
sure. But the inside I really like.
Well, you guys,
let me propose something. Let me propose something. What we'll do, if anything, we'll do like pitched roof. Yeah, it is okay, but it could be done with the really modern look. John, you remember our inspiration pictures before we built King City? The really modern, the guy from Nova Scotia, what was his name?
Omar Gandhi.
Omar Gandhi, yeah. Can you bring one of those pictures with the pitched roof?
guys, not the time and place. Let's sort out how big of a space we need it. We can let, you know, the vets duke it out. That's how we treat the outside. We want to make sure we have a proper square footage to kind of go off of.
Yes, and there's also the fact, guys, that we have a construction manager that's on board, and we're already into the discussions of how we're going to build this. So we talked about slope roofs, and then we have to start thinking about materials, and so he can try to plug that into the budget of what it wants to be. So we already have a good idea of what he wants to be from the outside, what he wants to be from the inside. You guys are working on that. And then we have to work with the rest of the team to figure out how we're going to build this thing. And the picture that you showed me, that you put on the screen just moments ago of that building, colonial style, whatever you call it, that is probably the cheapest building you can get. And it's going to look cheap for a long time. Right now, I think that we had a little bit more, a bit more of a vision, because you want that building to be timeless. Like Bruce said, it's going to be there maybe for 100 years in that corner. You want that to be a landmark, and you want that to be a very elegant, well-built, and catch-your-eye building.
The other thing,
Very good, Patrick. Thank you.
The only other thing I would add to that, too, just so you know, Gerard and John, and you probably do, is that Kanata is a tech town.
Yes.
The Kanata North Business Park is literally 5 minutes away, and there's some incredible number of technology workers. It's the biggest tech park in Canada by quite a margin. I think 30,000 people work in that business park, or they did before the pandemic, but hopefully one day again soon they will. And as Dr. Olender Sr. said just a moment ago, Kanata is growing at a fantastic rate. And Robert, with all due respect, I mean, I love your house, but with all due respect, Kanata is literally at your door now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. We should go modern. That would be my idea. I agree with Patrick and Senior. So
I think there's a happy compromise. There's, you know, there's some really nice modern architecture, you know, that's still pitched roof, you know, still wood exteriors. It's yeah, obviously columns got to go, but there's a fine balance. So yeah, pitched roof does not mean old school, old style. Pitched roofs are also very modern.
What's going to drive that design, guys, is what you do with the front. Whatever you decide to do with the reception area, it's going to bring everything else in place. So once you got that pretty much under control, we can start doing the architecture, no issue, and we'll work with the construction manager to make sure that we don't want to go too out of control. And I spoke with the construction manager, Tim is his name, and we already spoke about timber, exposed timber elements that will, you know, that will work in that area, that will work with the architecture that we have in mind. We talked about slope roofs and all of that. He had no issues with exposed timber and some exposed steel inside for trusses and so on. So we already have a very good grasp of what we want to show. But the missing part was the interiors right now.
So back to the floor plan. So this is 4,000 square feet. And I would say that this is pretty much giving exactly what you had in your wish list based on kind of my understanding. So, you know, this is a 4 exam room facility. There's, you know, the manager's office close to the front, spacious reception, surgery, separate dentistry suite, 3 tables and treatments, you know, your doctor's offices, your kind of, this is a nurse station or a tech station, however you want to kind of label it, you know, your ICUs, your dog wards. This is a really spacious staff room, kind of meeting study room. I know you guys had that on your list. So this, I don't know if there's anything missing kind of at quick glance from this layout that you guys have on your list. But
Yeah, I just really like, out of everything, I just really like that fishbowl style where you have the glass windows behind the treatment area. So when I'm sitting there, I have eyes on everything.
Yeah, and that's just good business management, and you know.
I on that I agree with you, Robert.
Yeah, that's
So this one is it's not that fishbowl like arch, but it's the exact same concept where you've got, you know, this is as much glazing as kind of you want. Usually it's a split between cabinets glazing, but it's similar concept.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the smallest one is just under 4,000, but you still got 4 exam rooms, the comfort room, manager's office, back to sort of the fishbowl, 2 tables in surgery, dentistry. Like this pretty much also has, I think, everything on your wish list.
Yeah, that's let's call it classic. Yeah.
This seems like the one I like the most so far, because this has everything that I'm looking for here.
Yeah, the staff room is, you know, spacious. I know you guys kind of had like these extra rooms for breaks, and we don't usually get asked for all that type of space for staff, but you know, okay, if we added, you know, 1 extra room somehow in here, you know, that puts you closer to, you know, 4,000 than to 5,000. So it depends on what you imagine, what you envision. You know, if you think you guys are going to grow and you're going to need more than 4 exam rooms, but that's usually where, you know, client will come to us and they'll say, I want a 2 exam room small clinic, or I want a 4 exam room clinic, and based off of that, we kind of give them everything else that they need. So I would just kind of have a think about that as your starting point.
So George, all those layouts that you've worked on, that you're showing us, those are based on a 1-story shell with all the mechanical, the rooftop units. You have rooftop units for air conditioning and air handling units. You don't have any interior utilities, basically, correct?
Yes, what happens is that the ventilation system right now, it really did get complicated. 2019, there were new regulations, tables introduced for the air exchanges in the animal hospitals. So basically, hospital like this one will suggest 3 or 4 mechanical zones, and there'll be probably 4 ERV units that will be suspended in the ceiling. But heating, cooling, yeah, it comes from the rooftops. That's the best solution so far.
Okay, because if we are going to introduce an architecture with a slope roof, we're going to have to really think hard about what we're going to do about that. You just can't plunk a rooftop unit onto a slope roof. You can do it, but you need a lot of thoughts put into it.
No, basically, when we did many times, we did the sloped roof with the rooftops. What happens then is that we'll introduce some series of dormers and then platform / balcony that will accommodate mechanical equipment with some nice screening.
Of course, but the issue is it needs to be figured out if it's part of we're going ahead of what we should be talking about, but it gets down to the engineering of it, because then it doesn't get into the guy that does the trusses. It gets into the mechanical and structural engineering and so on. So we just need to be on the same page of where we're going with this. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, definitely rooftops. And if it's pitched roof, then it has to be kind of looked at by the structural. And if it's flat roof as well, but it's not a big deal because those units are really not that heavy.
Okay.
So I have a question for you, Gerard and John. we're on a timeline here. We're trying to, you know, move this along to site plan application. And of course, after that, once we have site plan approval, we do have to do a minor variance. And the reason for that is we're a little bit short on the frontage and a tiny bit on the area. So it's very critical, the timing of the application. We can't do the application until we know exactly where the building is going and what the, you know, whether it's long and skinny or square or something in between. So I was going to ask you two guys today, what is your timeline for coming up with a draft of what this interior will look like? And that then feeds into Patrick and Patrick on the exterior.
I mean, the draft, we can do it, you know, pretty quick. We would get, you know, the comments again from the two vets, from the client, and they would we would refine the wish list based on maybe today's, you know, meeting, what they think they're leaning toward. And then, you know, about a week and we would have something to send their way. So if we know
just hang on a sec there for a sec. That's very useful. So Robert and Dr. Olender, I guess Robert's gone probably to make some money. So Dr. O, we need to hear from you whether you want something that's 4,000 square feet or 5,000 square feet. There's a big difference, right? And if you're okay with a 4,000 square foot building, we have to learn about that from you and fairly soon.
Yeah, it's pretty clear to me that it's going to be between 4,000 and 5,000. It will not be over 5,000.
No, I don't think so. But John has raised the possibility that you might be okay with 4,000 square feet. The only thing I would caution you on is if you build 4,000 square feet and 5 years from now, you want a few more, you know, rooms, examination rooms, it's a hell of a lot more expensive to add them later.
Yeah.
So that's exactly, that's the question is, do you think 4 exam rooms will meet, you know, your growth? Or is that what you're, you know, thinking you need right now? Because if you think, it's way easier, like Bruce is saying, to you know, build it right now than trying to add it on down the road.
You see, we will cap the size of the hospital in terms of business and clientele at the 4 rooms. If we need 5th, we will just not admit any more clients. That's it.
Yeah, 5 rooms is a lot, right? I need 1 good euthanasia room and I need 3 exam rooms.
Yeah, that's and then I say you can do the dual. That's why the 4th exam room is just really extra spare room for whatever for the time being. But it will be 4 exam rooms.
Okay,
so 4 exam rooms, are we talking 4,000 square feet, 4,500 square feet, or 5,000?
You know what? I would lean towards 5,000. And the reason for it is wherever I go, various clinics, they are always too small, cramped, little, and I'm sick and tired of that. The thing is, I have you know, a few rooms here that are spacious. I would say I have one of the biggest surgery room in town, and it's too small. Okay, and anywhere I go, it's they are small, like I don't know who designs those hospitals. But the thing is,
right, Dr. Olender, I support that conclusion. And when we did Dr. Espy's dental clinic, she has one of the biggest in Ottawa, and she didn't have all the dentists that she needed to fill it out when she designed it, but she said exactly the same thing. You guys, John and Gerard, you probably know Henry Schein. That's the organization that she used to design the clinic. So she went almost 6,000 square feet, Dr. O. And she added 2 new dentists, and the business has boomed beyond any expectation that she had. But if you go in to see her clinic, it's right next to Farm Boy in the Britannia Plaza. You know, it's big. It's very high tech. It's very well done. It's quite modern, Robert. It's not, it's not colonial.
Yeah.
But it
No,
has,
I like modern, just to get that out of the way.
okay.
Everything I like is modern. It's just the outside needs to have
Yeah,
a little bit of
not
rural
trying to
feel.
pick on you, Robert. But what I'm trying to say is, Dr. Olender, is that she did exactly the same thing. She said every dental clinic that she had ever worked in herself, or any that she had owned, was always too small.
Yeah, and we are operating at 2,800 right now. It's not a far stretch to 5,000. It's really not that much. And the thing is, all we have to do is make bigger what we have, and then is your 500, add the one extra room here and there, and bigger exam room and this and that. So no, 5,000 it is.
Yeah,
Perfect.
and just for the exam rooms, maximize space as much as you can. Small exam rooms with no windows kind of freaks me out.
The thing is, I have a concept in my head, and I saw this 4 or 5 drawings, and I know exactly what I want. It's just the room sizes. Yeah, that's debatable. What's in the rooms is debatable, because, for example, and that's just a small side comment. The thing is, a lot of rooms that I see being built, there are fixtures that are in place. You cannot walk around the table, and the thing is, and I don't like it. Really, all I need is like a metal table in the middle, and little cabinet on the side. Really, that's all you need. You don't need any water. You don't need anything like that. This is completely redundant. And I've been testing this idea over the years, and I'm right. It's as simple as that. So the thing is, so the size of rooms typically are too small. And I think that is governed by the clinics that typically are built in plazas. They are like 2,000-3,000 square feet. And then people want like 4 rooms, and there's no room for anything else. We will increase the room sizes, but I don't think there will be that much room to increase the surface area anyway. Okay, if we want all the other rooms that we've been talking about. So no, I exactly know how to do it.
You've given good direction for John and Gerard. Gerard and John, listening to what Robert said, he likes the idea of bringing some daylight into these examination rooms, if I heard Robert correctly.
Yeah.
Have you done that in other clinics?
Yeah. So
What happens is that if we have a situation like this, then there are really two options. Install the big transom windows and make natural light get transferred from the reception area into the exam rooms. And the second option is to do the skylights. Now, the other comment about arrangement of furniture in the exam room, everybody has a different idea about this. And if there is a preference to have a table, stainless steel table, that is accessible all the way around, yes, we did many hospitals like that. However, what we hear from our clients very often, that it's good to have a sink in the exam room, and it's practical to have it. But again, if they are canceled, there's no issue whatsoever. We'll just cancel them.
Yeah, we can designate some that we potentially might need. Yeah, well, that's minor point. That's okay.
Yeah, but even with exam rooms, like every exam room should be unique. There should be a big exam room that is primarily used for big dogs. There should be a small exam room that you can use for cats with no windows so they don't get scared. There should be a euthanasia room with one door, one access, or a two-way, but I mean, there's not even an exam room table in there. It's just couches, right? So every room is very different for those things.
Yeah, for the euthanasia rooms, again, there is several options, and there are flip-up tables that are hidden in the cabinets just in case you need to use it as an exam room. Most of the time, the euthanasia rooms, usually we try to do them oversized just in case there's 4 or 5 people, you know, saying goodbye to the animal.
Yep.
So, and that has to be comfortable. There cannot be a cramped space. So,
100%.
couch and a flip up table or flip down table, and plenty of room in the center for a blanket or for a small tiny mobile table. So all those options we'll discuss. Those are the details for the millwork and things and interior decor. But again, I'm sure I could see, you know, the direction this will go. The big comfortable exam rooms, usually we do them for the referral hospitals. And again, there are options where you can have a fixed table, or you can have a table that is hidden under the counter, so you can pull it out in case you need it. In case you have a big dog and you want to examine the dog on the floor, you just stow it away and it's out of your way, and you can examine a big dog. So yeah, we can discuss it and, you know, do the designation of those rooms during, you know, kind of our conversations.
That's later on. Yeah.
I'm gonna jump out, guys. I have a meeting. Sorry.
Just before you go, John. Do you and your dad have enough information to produce a first draft in the next, say, 10 days?
Yeah, we'll send an email to the vet team and kind of just double check some items, and then we should be able to get something in 10 days.
Yeah. Actually, this meeting crystallized my idea quite a bit.
Perfect.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, I still have no idea about the exterior of the building, though, guys.
Yeah, well,
No, we'll leave it to the Patricks.
yeah.
I think so. Yeah. I think Patrick's have made a very good comment.
Can you send the blueprints of those several documents so I can look them over and highlight what I like?
Yeah.
So Gerard, can you ask John to send some of those floor plans to everybody? And he has Robert's email address, so make sure Robert gets it, and of course the two Patricks and me as well.
Yeah, that's all I need.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What we'll probably do is really we'll send it something what is more similar to the building footprint on the site, and similar to the doctor's requirements. And I kind of have an idea what will happen in this building there with the layout and things. And I'll just have to send a couple emails and get a couple clarifications and discuss some details. But we'll produce something what will be for this specific footprint.
Yeah, so just so you guys know, Patrick and Gerard, I'm going to produce for Dr. Olender and Robert Olender a summary of where we're at in terms of getting our site plan, completed. That's kind of the primary focus right now. And if we could count on you guys to produce at least a first draft of a floor plan within 10 days, once we get Dr. Olender and Robert to approve it, then the architecture will start to, you'll start to see the outside of this building.
Correct.
Yeah.
A comment, Patrick. You know what? I'm not against the flat roof, but the thing is, if technology these days allows for a flat roof that will not leak within like 5 years, I'm okay with that. But the thing is, you know what flat roofs do, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, I'm in the flat roof plaza.
Yeah.
I have like 6 leaking spots.
Dr. O,
they don't want to fix it, right?
Dr. Olender, we've already made that decision a few meetings ago. This is going to have a slope roof. Okay, we are. The fact is that if you put a slope roof on this thing, your maintenance costs and your worry about leaks is going to go to zero. So we just can't, in our climate, in my opinion, because just so you know, Gerard, I built lots of buildings, and every single one of my flat roof buildings has leaked, and not 5 years, Dr. Olender, just so you know, I've had leaks within the first 12 months of these buildings. I mean, and I got lifetime guarantees that were worthless, I can tell you that. Everybody blames everybody else.
Okay.
So we're not doing that. We're going to have a sloped roof. we made that decision already.
And the snow proof, we can play with the pitch, we can play with the configuration.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was referring to Patrick's comments. So
Yeah, no, you're
Yeah.
absolutely right, Dr. Olender. We've made the decision. That's where we're going. We're not doing the flat roof thing because I'm telling you, you will not thank me or your design team for that. You'll be frustrated. Within
Okay,
3 years, you'll be having leaks. So we're not going to do that. All right, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Good to see you again, Doctor. And Patrick and
Nice
Patrick.
to see you guys.
Right, it was great to
Thank
meet you.
you.
I look forward to talking.
Meet you guys.
hey, can I stay with Gerard for a second? Is it possible?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
I'm gonna mute myself, and I'll let Patrick leave the meeting. So you talk to Gerard, and when you're finished, don't
Yeah.
worry about it.
Yeah,
Gentlemen,
because I was to call, you know, it's just based on the today's discussion, okay?
Yeah.
I was to basically, what I think is, you know, like John commented, right? They are all the same sort of, it's just basically mixing the same thing, however it fits your imagination, right? Or desire. But the thing is, yeah, in that particular location, Patrick's comment about exposure to the street and street seeing we will have to probably
Reception.
take, yeah, reception. We'll have to take that into account. So that's one thing. But the thing is,
Can you hold on for a second?
yeah, sure.
What's going on? Oh, I have a Zoom meeting. Yeah, not on the side of the road. No? Can't use your cell phone on the highway at all. Oh, I saw that divine. Okay, I'm leaving then. Okay, thanks.
Okay. So, okay, well, maybe I'll just call you later.
Yeah, call me in half an hour.
Okay.
Thank
Phone
you.
number.
416
Yeah,
822
yeah.
0120.
20, yeah. Okay, Gerard, that's it. I think that's it. You're the last one.
Okay,
Thank you
thanks.
very much. I think we're done. Patrick, you're out.